Hey guys, it's me, your favorite angry Italian loreman. Once again, this intro is to waste a bit of YouTube's time because of their guidelines on language and such. Unfortunately, it is probable we will have to censor some stuff in this video. Nothing too egregious, but guidelines are pretty strict about it. But just to remind you, the video you are going to watch right now is a montage of the best and funniest moments of the Lord Destroyer series. All the episodes of the series are available in full length on our Patreon. And by the time you are watching this video, we are close to reaching episode 30. This video in particular will cover moments going from episode 5 to 8. And keep in mind that every episode goes from 1.5 to 3 hours long, and you are watching just some parts of it. If you want to see the full uncensored and unedited episodes, you just need to join our Patreon at least on the Pio Servo level, and you get access to all of them, and be able to join them live every time we record them. We also recently landed on Twitch, and we will start streaming there soon. We will stream mainly Warhammer 40k games, so if you want to come by and say hi, you can find us on Twitch under the username DePontius. See you there!
G'day guys and gal, Rangdan. Not really a word you can say without sounding like you're trying to take the piss out of a Chinese man.
I love the start. Welcome everyone, Rangdan.
Yeah, George Van Dyer, Tiberos, I'm pretty much done with this fucking pronunciation. But I'm curious as to why he put this picture
I mean, to win the war, the Emperor had to open the Labyrinth of Night. Not that you would really know what the hell that was either, unless you're a virgin or you make it to
what the fuck did he say?
Really know what the hell that was either, unless you're a virgin or you make it to the end of this video.
Okay, Pio, do you know what the Noctis Labyrinth is?
Yes.
Okay, you're a virgin.
I mean, it exists in the real... the Noctis Labyrinth, actually, it's a real thing too. It's a section of Mars in the real world. It's called the Noctis Labyrinth.
Shut up, nerd. You're a virgin.
One war ends and the next one begins, but basically the first war was when the Imperium fought the Rangdan on one of their heavily fortified planets. The planet was so well protected that the Imperium thought it was...
No, I hate to go back to my videos, but just a planet. Advex Morse was not a planet. It is a system. System of Advex Morse. Look at the galactic northeast of the galaxy, near the Ghoul Stars.
It's a planet.
Lost 50 knights in one of the climactic battles, and they were really dramatic about it. They even needed the Emperor to pat them on the back to calm them down a bit, but like, boo fucking who, you lost 50 knights. 50 Ugandans probably died of AIDS last night, and you don't see much of a ruckus about it.
Oh, what the fuck?
Was that really necessary?
Fuck, kind of. Why? What the fuck would you make a comparison like that? You lost 50 Imperial Knights. Do you know that 50 people probably died of AIDS yesterday? Thank you, Majorkill. I'm here for a 40k lore video.
But the question is, on what side? The Slaw were known for their ability to mind control, and there's a good chance that the Rangdan weren't this super overpowered Xeno race.
No, they weren't known. They are known for the ability to mind control?
No.
I know that they are known because they hit people. And they are pretty much assholes all around in every single way possible. But mind control was a thing of the Rangdans, not of the Sloth.
Yeah, the Sloth have from what I know and I remember, because I suck at it. It was almost completely Danny to form the theory, but the Sloth didn't have almost anything to do with the Rangdan Xenocide. Almost nothing.
Yeah,
there are theories. They had an affiliation probably, but
yeah, there are theories that they were affiliated or were working under the Sloth for the simple fact that the Sloth were seen deploying on the battlefields with them, sometimes to fight, other times just to harvest the dead. So it is still here. Fine, it is removed. Oh my god, what is it is not private, but you cannot see it without the link.
Yes. We got the link, we can see it.
Fuck you, we did it.
You can't escape.
This is a major retcon of previous lore. First time? Probably.
I hate with all my being the people that even try to compare a retcon made because something doesn't make sense in the universe, or to expand something that was not that expanded before, but that was at a dead point in its own lore, with the notion that retconning something for politics are the same thing. It is literally one of the most opinions you can hold. It is why Bricky fucking holds it. You cannot even start to understand what level of stupidity is that.
This is just the start. Eventually, it's going to become female space marines. It's just the beginning. Probably, yeah. I mean, it's not too hard
Who
to
cares?
fit it into lore in a way. Just have Call do it, you know? Probably the guy that you would have do that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, you know, I can read the writing on the wall. It's probably coming at some point soon. You know, I was on record a while ago being like,
Does
female
this
space
guy
marines
have
are kind of mid,
opinions?
whatever to me,
Stop
because
No, he doesn't have opinions. So to be honest,
Because-
he's just a shitty lore creator.
Because the title is the golden opinion, but every time he's saying something, he says, meh, probably.
Probably,
Who cares? It doesn't seem to have a fucking opinion.
His opinion is literally whatever, I don't care.
that die for the Emperor. If anything, it's the most type of equality we can get in 40k.
No.
Everyone can be meat ground up under
That is
the
correct, but not in the
hammer and
Custodes.
anvil of the ecclesiarchy and the imperial industry. Games Workshop pulling this randomly out of their ass is a terrible move. Agreed, actually. This is one of those things I do agree with. Despite everything here, despite me genuinely not caring and being like, cool, we got female custodians.
The golden opinion, I do not care.
Yes, I doesn't have an opinion. I don't care. The golden opinion.
Granted, the actual short story in the codex is kind of cool. The gal is doing.
It does. Is he talking about the Taurovalia Cash one?
Let's check, because if he's talking about Taurovalia Cash, oh no, yeah, you haven't not kept up with the recent stuff. So if you did, you will know you cannot teleport a fucking bomb through void shields.
It's cool. Everything about that thing, every single millisecond of that story is wrong.
Everything that happens in that story is literally not lore compliant.
But I'm getting so fucking angry because he doesn't know it.
No,
How does he
haven't you
not know
haven't you kept up with the latest things? Pio, this shows you haven't kept up with the latest things. Bricky did. You see, by the lore he's mentioning.
I thought we were talking seriously for a minute. I was going to punch you in the face.
No.
Actually retconned. It's new information has now been provided, or it was always this way, but for some reason it was kept under wraps because propaganda, totalitarianism,
Yeah,
yada,
everything
yada, the usual
propaganda.
Kind of thing.
Everything propaganda.
You
the
don't care about
fascist.
every-
Like it does
Yeah,
kind of
you
feel
don't
like
care
they
about anything.
we're
just-
trying to
just
be passive
dump it
progressive,
in.
take one foot on one side and one foot in the other. We're like, well, we want to do this thing, but we don't want to do it too hard, so we'll just throw a couple S's in there, make a tweet, and then just call it. And it's
The
really
tweet
just
was the biggest problem, because people were like, okay, the retcon was fucking but the fact that you now made it as they were always there and never appeared in over 60 fucking books of the Horus Heresy and the Siege of Terra, it either means that you are lying to our faces and believe that we can accept it, or they were so fucking useless that they were never mentioned. It is either one or the other as a logic explanation.
And I mean, from the short story, I can expect the second one.
Yeah.
I really like this one. I've been seeing this one a lot. This is the same thing that happened to Star Wars, and the same it's going to go the same direction that Star Wars went, like downhill and stuff. This one always gets me because it's a complete lack of understanding the difference between correlation and causation. Star Wars went downhill because the writing was dog.
Because the writing of
what is
Taurovalia
this?
Cash was so high quality. Jesus
What the fuck
Christ!
is this then? Everything is shit after the fall of Cadia.
Yeah, I haven't found a book that takes place after the fall of Cadia that is actually fucking decent to read. The only one I was forced to read because I really didn't want to talk about it was the book about the Great Work. And people were like, oh no, it will change your opinion. It will actually change your opinion on Belisarius Cole. It will change your opinion on the Primaries. Yes, it actually made it fucking worse because the book is literally dog shit.
I think I can barely speak English, but I think I can write a better short story for Taurovalia Cash than what was that. To be honest, you can't fix the female Custodes being a thing.
Yeah, you cannot fix. There is no way to make it acceptable. At that point, I would have said, okay, no, we are not doing that. Let's talk about Sisters of Silence. Let's bring them into the limelight for once.
You can do something better for sure. For fucking sure.
Do you consider yourself better than fucking Games Workshop? I don't consider myself better than fucking Games Workshop. I consider Pio better than fucking Games Workshop. And that's saying something.
It puts me in just the worst position because whenever I want to talk to people to actually get into the hobby, because despite all of the wackiness of this world, there's something for everyone. Right? There's a faction for everyone. Someone will really click with one of the 20 or so factions this game has. They'll find that spot. And it's just really fun to see them get into it and get painting and have a great time. And then if you type in Warhammer on any social media, this is what comes up. And how embarrassing it is for someone like me who wants to bring folks into the hobby.
How embarrassing it is that other fans care about the lore more than I do. How embarrassing that this universe has people so dedicated to it that they actually know a lore so vast and detailed by hand to the point that they can call out Games Workshop bullshit the moment it happens. How embarrassing that a universe has such fans going around.
But at some point I had to think, is staying silent an accidental admission of agreement? Are people going to look at me and think that I'm with these people?
These people.
Ew,
with these people. These people I don't like because they don't like Games Workshop fucking up the lore to appease blue-haired activists that scream pretty much anytime you even look at them.
I like that it doesn't say what these people are.
You're still lagging.
How see fuck keep
even the internet is suffering from reading the first
internet
paragraph.
doesn't want to see this.
pretty.
Okay. Can you try to fix a bit?
Go forward.
Okay, let's go forward.
I've closed every single thing on my PC. And I can't
you are
do more
not
than
lagging
this.
now. You are not lagging now. Well, she's in the command deck. At least that's it is a bit justifiable. But yeah.
Then how is she in the shadows if it's in a fucking command deck?
That's actually a good question. How dark are command decks? Did somebody forget to pay the light bill?
We are the Space Marines.
Hi, I'm Arbeiterian. I am a massive Warhammer fan.
This guy is Arbeiterian.
Blue Sky.
This the Blue Sky. He's on Blue Sky. Okay, this doesn't start well. This doesn't start well.
God. Also, the Imperium of Man is a very horrible place that has a very low estimation of the value of human life. So, instead of using robots, they just grab a spare person, mind wipe them, fill them full of technology, and get them to, like, open...
It is not a spur. You don't just grab people to make them into servitors. Usually they are either clones, or criminals, or heretics. You don't just grab a citizen, servitorize him just for fun. Even the Imperium knows that's a very stupid thing to do and will lead to rebellions.
The God Emperor or about their mission.
Yeah,
also, they will take those skulls, put even more cybernetics in them, and then, again, carry them around as little mates, like doing odd jobs. Those are called servo skulls. You only get one if you are exceptionally holy in life.
Oh? What the fuck do you mean if you're exceptionally holy in life? Servo skulls are like the most common fucking way of doing stuff in 40k. Like, they're even toilet cleaners. Are they holy? Are the toilets holy? What the fuck? Okay.
This is honored brother Goobity Gab. He now cleans toilets. Such a noble pursuit.
Change. While they do this, they're all going to learn each other's tactics, and then they'll be able to take all this knowledge and special technology back to their home chapters. However, the Deathwatch also has another function, which is to house Space Marines who maybe have nowhere to go. Space Marines who have been dishonored in some way. Maybe they've done something wrong and been killed.
Space Marine orphanage.
cultural exchange of extremely racist orphan space marines.
The throne.
How does the Emperor get down? Look at his feet. They're like 5 times the size of the stairs.
The Emperor
Does he jump down?
The teleport.
The Emperor goes down, makes one step, and then he just starts falling from the stairs like
Tippy
Peter
toes.
Griffin. No, like Peter Griffin.
Damn it!
When would the Deathwatch actually be deployed versus regular Space Marines? Okay, slight with
When you need the power of racism in your ranks, which is a very literal way because they are specialized in killing Xenos. But let's hear the answer.
They are
Thing is,
specialized at being racist.
There is casual racist, which is the entire 40k universe for humans, and then there is the top rank racist, which are the Deathwatch.
And the main expression of that are the 4 chaos powers, which are these massive, slow intelligences of warp energy that people in the real world sometimes find out about, worship, gain superpowers, and occasionally get turned into a gribbly mess chaos spawn thing. Worshipping chaos is generally not very good for you, and the people who do it are the biggest.
It's not very good for
Worshipping chaos is generally not very good for you. Thank you. That explains my premature aging. I thought it was stress, it was chaos worshipping.
The Great Rift is a massive warp rift that bisects the galaxy and cuts one half of the Imperium off from the other. In every map, it's shown as being a long, thin thing, like a barrier that spaceships can't get through. And I think the real actual canon answer to this question is that no one's thought of that. I would suggest that because humanity actually have to use the warp.
Sorry. Your canon answer is that humans are so fucking idiotic in 40k that nobody thought seeing this fucking giant warp portal to go under or over it? That's like the first question you ask of an obstacle.
How much has the Emperor talked after getting on the Golden Throne? Depends how you...
Are these really the expert questions? It sounds like somebody that has read the wiki for 5 minutes and started asking whatever came to mind. These are the expert questions.
Conflict or retcon previous lore? Is it jarring that we are told that female custodians have always existed, but there isn't a single moment in the entire lore of a female custodian till now?
Yay! At least he mentions it. I can give him kudos for that. He said something that is sincere.
A good thing.
He said something that is sincere and that is actually true to the lore. Oh my god, Majorkill, you're spoiling us today.
Custodian Calidase Torovala Kesh. 100%.
It's a shitty name anyway.
Why can't these men pronounce one name in the correct way? Calidase Taurovalia, there is an I here. Kesh.
However, a squad of Custodians teleported on board her ship and captured her, ending her blood game. It turns out that one of the
was
crew
the
members
voice shields of the ship
female
on? Now that I think about it.
That's actually a good question. Were the voice shields of the ship on or off? I'm curious.
And if they are off, what the fuck is this custodian?
Like, there are people that seriously believe that the argument of voice shields really doesn't hold water. The entire reason in the Horus Heresy that they took months before even breaching the Imperial Palace was that because the Aegis was up, they could not teleport inside. And it was so hard to bring down, they had to bomb it and attack it for months before they even brought down a section of it. The entire ending of the Horus Heresy is literally like hinging on the fact that Horus turned off the void shields of his ship, permitting the Emperor and the others to teleport on it than it was before.
Yeah, it's actually made it worse because I was honestly kind of neutral on Cole because I don't know that much of new lore, fortunately, not what unfortunate. So I was kind of neutral, but after reading the great work, just him going, yeah, I can do fucking everything. I'm Cole, look at me, I'm defeating a fucking Catan shard.
Strength and muscle mass of a male custodian. They also wouldn't have tits, as that would be entirely obsolete and would, if anything, just slow them down.
Where do you take the fucking
Why,
lore? Where are you taking that lore from? See, all sisters still have their breasts. They don't have them removed.
What the fuck is he talking about?
They-
I'm feeling very uncomfortable.
They will not have breasts, they will have them removed. Stairs at the Sisters of Battle and Sisters of Silence. They actually seem to be packing pretty big badonkas when they don't have their armors on, Majorkill.
However, when it comes to female Space Marines, many writers and most fans are against the idea, with the lore having explicitly stated numerous times that only men can be Space Marines.
But the lore stated it even for this one. You showed proof that literally shuts it down. Son, nephew, cousin, sons, brothers, brotherhood. These men.
So yeah, overall, I'm pretty cool with female Custodians, especially with how they're presented by Custodian Cash in the new short story. I just
He likes the way Tarovalia Cash presented the Custodians in the new story.
He didn't even read it.
If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place.
There!
Oh,
There! First thing he shows of his Patreon. What do we do? Lore. What does he do? This is not even drone. This is literally just a naked model.
The lore. A quote from my man, Malcador the Sigil.
Pio, Pio, Pio.
Oh, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, no.
He's going to quote the basic...
He's going to do that.
No, and this time I will say the joke, because it is not a video. If people want to be offended, they are paying to be offended.
Planned for humanity, not man-nanity. If women...
What? I
Did
didn't understand, sorry.
yeah. Let's re-listen to it. It is so rare that it sent my brain in a haze.
Their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions on things. The Horus Heresy series is a 50-novel epic about Space Marines having a lot more humanity and free will than the Emperor planned for. Humanity, not man-nanity.
Okay.
What? This is not an argument.
Yeah,
This is just you
not
playing
an
with words.
That is just DI speak, literally just buzzwords. Oh no, yeah, it is actually humanity because we are humans. It is not menanity because we are men.
He will do it. And how can Games Workshop prove that his Space Marines are better than the original Space Marines? By allowing men and women, twice the recruitment pool.
Oh my god. The twice the recruitment pool argument.
A guy called the Emperor was born, or maybe just made himself evident to humanity, and he was super powerful and super cool and super knowledgeable, and he was like, hey, I'm going to unite humanity in a great crusade. So he did that. First, he conquered Earth, called Terra in the future, and then he sent out a bunch of super soldiers across the galaxy to reunite all of humanity and try to turn it into one great Imperium of man. And the Emperor was a couple of things.
I mean, I wouldn't use Vaush as a valid source of an introduction to 40k. Avultra's more Majorkill, and that's saying a lot.
I don't have any hardline answer, but it's an interesting question. There's some other stuff there that's definitely very far-right, very authoritarian. For example, the Emperor of Mankind was the undisputed master of Emperor of Mankind.
Which is not right-leaning. It technically makes it a dictatorship, but let's go on.
There was not a democracy. Democracy
Yes, because he's a fucking immortal demigod, but okay.
was not a thing. The Emperor controlled everything. Planets were controlled by planetary governors, who were appointed by the Council of Terra, which was...
So you are now describing feudalism. Like...
There were times when the Emperor sent out journalists to accompany these militaries and encourage them to be truthful and honest in their interpretation of events, which is good. Free speech and free journalism and free press are worthwhile left-leaning values. But they also faced him.
I'm fucking suffering. I can't stand 42 minutes of yeah, the generals get fucking brain there by the emperor. Then yeah, free speech left. It's really, really good. It's left. Yeah, because I can do what the my balls are dropping on the floor. I can't.
They are so devoted to this imperial cult that you, your family, and the city that your family lives in can be purged from orbit if it's found out that there are people within your city who are explicitly not of the belief that the Emperor is a god.
And this is actually extreme bullshit. It is not how it works. Yes, you have to venerate the Emperor of Mankind, but it comes in various forms, like anything but explicitly believing in a god that is not the Emperor, which usually means the gods of chaos, is what gets you killed. But like generally, you can literally venerate the Emperor any fucking way you like, or how your culture developed. Like, just look at how people venerate the Emperor, for example, on a shrine world, where they have rites, extreme masses, they have pilgrims going around, coming on the planet to give respect, to see the tombs of heroes, to give offerings and prayers to the Emperor of Mankind. And then you have the death cults. The death cults still believe in the god Emperor of Mankind. They just do it instead of just giving prayers and offering by killing people, which is actually accepted. It is not considered heretical, as long as the people you kill are being killed in the name of the Emperor, and are not important people that the Imperium needs, because at that point, yeah, they might be angry.
It really, really, really depends. Some planets are livable, but most of them have been choked black and yellow with the smog of the Imperial pollution. There are planets where
The Imperial pollution. No, not even the industry, the hive, see, the Imperial pollution by itself. The Imperium itself emits pollution.
So why am I going into all this? Well, the point that I'm laboriously trying to get to is that the universe of 40k fucking sucks. So why are there a ton of far-right people who like to deify elements of the Imperium of Man and use it in the political propaganda that they create? Why?
What the fuck?
What is he talking about?
Have you seen any recruitment posters with a commissar on it lately, Pio? How in the fuck do you use 40k as an expression of real world like propaganda?
Right? It's shiny. It is shiny. But what does it represent? Well, to me, what it represents
Wait, stop. What does it represent to you?
To me, it represents literally a demigod coming back, and a literal, like, entity emitting light, real or false, with a flaming sword of righteousness, with even, you can see Saint Celestine back here, you can see the fucking angel woman behind him, going against literally the fucking chaos scum that have come to invade Ultramar after the fall of Cadia.
And that's what I see too. Let's hear what Vaush thinks represents.
To me, what it represents is a kind of larger-than-life, hyperbolized, propagandistic retelling of a military force. You know what I mean? When I see this, I see propaganda in every paint stroke, and I like that because it's self-aware. But I think a lot of people see this.
Being paranoid doesn't make you intelligent.
Yeah, seeing stuff that is not there doesn't make you deep. It is literally self-aware. They literally know that they are propaganda. He's just making stuff up. Like, where the fuck do you see it? This is literally an artwork of the Return of Gilliman. There is actually another one where him and Cato Sicarius are charging a demon prince, always in this kind of setting.
They're essentially, yeah, they're sociopathic killing machines. They're narcissists. They're people too, Vaush. Not all Space Marines don't be like that. Guys, I like the Salamanders too, but you know...
Then you fucking know you're lying! Then you fucking know you're lying!
But you know goddamn well the majority of Space Marines are sociopathic killing machines who would turn on humanity the nanosecond they felt that...
What the fuck are you talking about?
This already
That's
happened,
not
guys.
true.
This already fucking happened, guys. Come on.
Guys, come on. Believe me, guys.
Yeah,
come on. Force, trust me, bro. It's very hard to
Also,
forget it.
even the best Space Marine chapters kidnap human children and torture them for like a decade until they're ready to have skin implants and turn into...
What the fuck is that?
Torture them.
Kidnap children and torture them? The first main fucking test that you have to take to become a Space Marine is choosing to become one. It is called the choosing for a reason, not the kidnapping.
Yeah, they...
However, in the universe of Warhammer 40,000, there is an argument to be made that ruthless, unrelenting authoritarianism and military supremacy is justified because the threats to humanity are real. And in the context of 40K, this is true.
Oh my
This is-
god! He's saying that they are doing something actually well in universe? Oh my god, Vaush, your two neurons have started working together. I'm surprised.
I'm scared now.
And
They are evil because
guys,
they
for
want
those
to
of you who have read
survive. so-
40K, you agree, right? Not making this up. Humanity is constantly losing. Even with everything the Imperium does, they lose. Every year more planets fall. Yeah, it's very fucked. And that's why it's grimdark. Because it's a fantasy universe where even the worst excesses of human military encroachment can't save us. That's what makes it grimdark.
Yes, but you yourself said that it is justified that they are like this exactly because they have no other option. Then, oh my god, how can't people understand that satire can't exist the moment you justify it? You cannot write a story and saying this entire faction is satire if then you create a motivation for the stuff that makes it satire to exist. Like, you cannot claim that the Imperium is satire, but at the same time has no other choice. Oh god, I hated recording the episode with Vaush. It was like being waterboarded with constant stupidity. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and check out our serious lore videos. And if you want to watch the full episodes of Lore Destroyers, once again, join our Patreon. Lots of lore to learn and lots of wrong videos to correct. We also hope to see you in our chat on Twitch. If you want to see serious lore experts play Warhammer 40k games, you know where to find us. And as this video will be the last one before Christmas, let us wish you a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.